Welcome back, YouTube. H2 Ocean 7 here. Haven't got our live rock or live sand yet. It's coming today, and it's coming from Live Rock Ranch, which I saw their ad searching through YouTube videos. They were very inexpensive. It was $3 something a pound, so that's supposed to come today. Fired the system back up and had a major catastrophe, which I'm going to share with you because my learning experience hopefully is going to help you guys in the future. Basically what happened in one of my earlier videos, I said never ever ever pick up your protein skimmer by the cup. So not listening to my own advice, I picked it up by the cup. Of course it fell and it cracked both of the tubes. So looking at it, it was pretty much unrepairable, so I had to replace it. I found this POS, which for those of you that don't know mechanical language, that stands for a piece of, let's go with salt. That's a 4-letter word. It starts with an S and a T. You can fill in the middle. It was 40 bucks, which is basically what I put in as my reduced price for my used protein skimmer. It comes with absolutely no directions, which isn't a big issue because it's not hard to figure out how to put it in. The biggest problem I had with it, it doesn't give you the height or the water depth that it should be sitting in. So I put it in the sump and I started it up, and of course we just had foam everywhere, micro bubbles throughout everything. So we went ahead and hung it on the outside and hooked it up with the pump, and our cheap little plastic hose that they supplied split. So this pump sat and run spraying water out the top, which brought this water level down and sucked that out. Meanwhile, the pump on the other side pumped the rest of the water up in, which kept coming down. And make a long story short, 30 gallons of water have pretty much soaked the carpet here, which I got cleaned up for the most part. Since then, I looked at a auto top-off system, which I didn't like the $100 price, and I didn't like what it offered. If you guys saw my earlier videos and got a glance of the shop, I fix automated machinery and design automated equipment, so this isn't really tough for me. I went on eBay and I bought a bunch of these little bobbers, like those two little blue ones you sit there. I've got another one back here in the corner that's going to stop us from ever draining this again. And I built myself a little box, 24-volt power supply. I've got 4 relays in there. I've got an outlet to plug my pumps into, and I've got my outlet to bring my power into. It's pretty basic, simple. It's really simple. Not to bore you to death. This relay is the main one, and that's going to do the autofill. The one thing I didn't like about the autofill systems that I found, they run just one little bobber or one switch. That if it sits there and bounces in the water, it's continuously going to make my pump come on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. And that's unacceptable to me. So we've got these two on here. And what it's going to do for the most part, when the water level comes down, this switch is going to open, which is going to do nothing. When this switch closes, it's going to turn that relay on. And that relay is going to stay on until the water level comes up and opens this switch, which is called a self-latching relay. It's a lot easier to do with a PLC program, but I'm an old fart and I know relay logic, so that'll eliminate that. We've got another bobber here in our fill tank, so it's that back here in the corner. If that goes down, it's going to turn that pump off. We put another switch in the back here, so if this ever happens again, if the water level drops 3 inches in that top, it's going to shut that pump and this pump off. I was going to put another one in the sump here to turn that pump off if it ever runs dry. The problem is with the tube going up into the tank and the drain hole in the top not having a check valve, it would turn off, and then all the water would drain back down. It would turn back on, then it would turn off, and it would just sit there and cycle back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and that would drive me crazy as well. So I'm coming up with a good solution for that. I've started to write the program. This jewel right here is an Allen Bradley programmable logic controller. I've looked at the marine maintenance, or the ones that run the whole system, I like them a lot. It's $500 just for the controller, and then you have to start adding your modules on. So to eliminate all this, I can just get water sensors, put them in there. I can write the PLC program so that I know it's an inch add for that. It should be an inch taken away from there. So I can write the program that when that cycle starts, that should raise an inch, that should lower an inch. If this goes down more or that goes up more, I can start turning things on and off. So I haven't implemented that because it's going to take me a long time to figure out the what ifs and the whereas and all that stuff, so I can write a program that actually works. I was going to put a bobber up in there that if the tank ran dry, by the way, it's that low because I drained water out because the sand and the rock are coming. But I was going to put a water switch in the top, but if I did that and the water level dropped for the power turning off, when the power turned back on, it wouldn't allow the pump to start again, and I didn't want to do that. So eventually we're just going to build our own marine control system, which is just easier for me. It's something that I'm sure most of you at home can't do, but I can, so it's an advantage. So right now we're waiting for our rock, and we're waiting for our live sand, and we'll put all that in, let it settle down and get everything going. I am leaving again for another week. One of the problems with my current job, Mr. Saltwater Tank has endorsed this wonderful little product, which is the one and only from Dr. Tim. He puts a live rock in, dumps a bottle of this stuff in, puts fish in, and says everything works great. Not that I really don't want the tank to cycle, but I want to treat the live rock and live sand as live animals. So I really don't want to put them in there and have the ammonia nitrate and nitrite levels spike outrageously high and kill the $300 worth of rock that I just bought. So we're going to go ahead and dump that in. While I'm gone, my 10-year-old is going to be monitoring the whole system and giving me feedback, and I hope it runs well for the week. I'm not leaving until Sunday. This is only Thursday, so when I get my sand and my rock and get everything in and get the system fired back up and get all of my little water switches tested, I'll make another video before I go. Just to recap on where we are. The last video we were at $700 because I added $50 or $60 for my used, which I had to replace with new, and I would endorse buying a better, we'll buy a better protein skimmer, but for now that's what we got. So Live Rock Ranch sold us 100 pounds of live sand and 50 pounds of live rock, which their pictures are very nice. I'm not going to say anything nasty right now. We'll wait till we get it and see what it looks like, and I'll critique that in the next video. So with the $325 we spent on that, added to the $700, we're at $1,025. So we blew our cost for the $1,000 build. We're at $1,025, and we got the cost of this box. But since I have most of this stuff laying around and it's really cheap, the cost of the parts in there is probably around 115 bucks. So in reality, with our water system and our water shutdown, we'll be at about $1,125. And that should give us a working live rock, live sand, ready for coral reef once everything settles in. And at that point, for $125 over budget, I'm going to call it a win. But we'll wait and see how everything does and give you another video. Till then, take care.